Alright guys, in this video I'm going to do a mock draft. Now originally I was going to do the whole draft, but a lot of people that I've talked to say that it's going to be a long video, so we're only going to do the first 30 picks. Let's get into this. Now, I like the trade that Philly and Boston did for the number 1 overall. However, I don't think it was needed. There could have been a deal in place that stated, certain players were traded after. That could have been done. But it's the way they did it. It happens. With that pick, though, Markelle Fultz does fit the most. The second pick, as much as I want it to be Lonzo Ball, it seems like the Lakers are going to go after Josh Jackson. I feel that they're going after Josh Jackson because they feel Russell is their guy, or maybe they see somebody else next year, or something like that, even though they don't have a pick next year, or maybe that's why they're going after another pick this year, because they see somebody else in terms of point guard. Who knows? Them going after Lonzo Ball is the best possibility. I just don't see it happening. The third pick, everybody debates on this. Some are saying that because Boston traded down, they are going to go after Josh Jackson or Jason Tatum. I think that the person that needs to be taken here is Jonathan Isaac. I mean, he fits what Boston needs. He does exactly as they're looking for. Exactly the things that they're looking for, he fits. They need a small forward who can also play off ball as a power forward. They need that, and that's exactly what he does. The fourth pick is where I think Lonzo will truly fall. Let's be honest here, him and Devin Booker on the same team is insane. And I also see if Lonzo falls to 4, even though they're trying to trade up for Lonzo, I still think that he's going to fall. But in terms of that, I do see that if they get him, they are going to make a trade, whether it be for a Jason Tatum or an Aaron Gordon. They're going to make a trade either for a pick to get Jason Tatum, or they're going to try to go after Aaron Gordon. I think that that's what's going to happen, because both or one of each of those guys will help with what Phoenix is looking for. The fifth pick, we know Fox is going to go there, but is he truly the best pick? I think he is. I think that it makes the perfect sense to do it. It just, I don't see him fitting in Sacramento's system as best as they want him to, because they don't play the right ball handling style that he fits. But we'll see what happens. I don't see him fall. I don't see him going there. I see him going there, but I don't see him working there. But it happens. The sixth pick is Orlando. I want to say that this pick is going to get traded to Phoenix, especially with what Phoenix has in terms of assets. I would not be shocked at all if Phoenix was to call Orlando and say, we have 2 Miami picks. We have anybody on this team except for Devin Booker, and of course, except for the 4th pick we just made. What do you want for the 6th pick and Aaron Gordon? Whether it be a Godfather deal or not, it'll be something insane. And you know that something like that needs to happen. If Phoenix gets it, I do see Jason Tatum going here. If Orlando gets it, I see Jason Tatum going there. I don't see him fitting in that system. However, it's what's needed either way. But since Jonathan Isaac has been taken earlier, he fits here the best. The 7th pick would be Minnesota. Now, with Minnesota, I don't want them to take Lauri Markkanen, because doesn't really seem to fit what they're looking for, but there's not really anybody else that they could take, although Dennis Smith does look amazing. Dennis Smith could be something that they have been looking for. Yes, we need to give Chris Dunn another year, but Dennis Smith is a now kind of guy. The Minnesota Timberwolves cannot wait another year or two for Chris Dunn. They don't need to be waiting any longer for Ricky Rubio to show up. They have Karl-Anthony Towns. They have Andrew Wiggins. You add Dennis Smith to that, you've got yourself a big three that people will start to look at twice and think, whoa, and they won't second guess them, because you know for a fact that team will come at you twice as hard as they did last year, because now they have a point guard. The 8th pick is New York. Now, as much as I want to see this pick in a trade, I don't see it happening because I don't see who they can get. I mean, it would be nice if they called the Clippers and say, hey, listen, who should we take at 8? Because we'll offer you 8. Who else do you want off the team other than Melo and Porzingis, whatever? What do you want for Chris Paul? I don't see it happening, but it's an option. It is an opportunity that I don't think Phil Jackson ever wants to consider. But with that pick, I think Malik Monk does fit best, whether it's traded or not. Malik Monk is the go-to guy at that exact draft pick. Number 9 is the Mavericks. This is where I think Lauri Markkanen fits, because Lauri Markkanen comes off to me as a young Dirk who just needs to learn for another year or two. And if everything turns out okay, he could be the next Dirk, if not better. And the one thing about that is that he is going to be learning from Dirk for another year, maybe 2. Dirk's got maybe another year or 2 left in him. And if Lauri Markkanen learns from Dirk, of all people, you've got something brewing. Especially him and Noel teaming up together, you've got something unstoppable on its way. Even if it takes another year or 2, and you still stock up on lottery pick assets, you're set. Number 10, as much as I want to say that Luke Kennard is going to go here, I don't see the Sacramento Kings needing Luke Kennard, but I do see them taking Zach Collins. However, with Zach Collins, he is the kind of player where he's going to do what they need, but they've already got a center. So is he going to play power forward, or is he going to play center? That's the issue that needs to be addressed. I see him better as a center, but he can play both. I want him to go somewhere else. I just think they're going to take him because that's all they have, and that's all they really think that they can get. They can draft back, but they don't seem to realize that. But this is the Sacramento Kings we're talking about here. Pick number 11 is the Charlotte Hornets. With this pick, I really do see Luke Kennard going here. I have heard a lot of debate about who should go here. I have read that Donovan Mitchell goes here, but I don't see Donovan Mitchell fitting in what Charlotte's trying to do. Luke Kennard fits it best. Even though they have a shooting guard, he can still come off the bench for another year, maybe 2, and do what's needed. Even if they fit him into the starting lineup, he still can be that asset that is perfect for what they need to get to that next level. And him and Kemba back and forth is going to be a thing of dreams. And it's going to be something that everybody's going to want to see. Especially if they can get Frank the Tank Kaminsky to his all-time levels that he needs to be at. Now, the next pick is Detroit. I see Detroit needing a shooting guard. However, if they keep Caldwell Pope, then there's no point in taking a shooting guard. With this pick, I have them taking John Collins. He makes the most sense for them in terms of need, and I feel that him and Drummond, if they keep him, can be a solid combination. John Collins played very, very well at Wake Forest last year. He did amazing. And any team that gets him is going to get an amazing force of nature that no one, like I said before, no one will see coming. The next pick is the Denver Nuggets. Now, the thing with the Denver Nuggets is they need a little bit of this, they need a little bit of that, they need hopes and dreams, they need a miracle and a half, they need the miracle on ice, they need a miracle from the man above. They need everything to pray that they keep some of the guys that they're trying to keep. They need everything. They need to pray that they keep Danilo Gallinari, because if they don't, they're screwed. Now, with this pick, I see them needing a center, but I want them to take a point guard, because I feel that them taking a point guard puts their current point guard on notice. But I'm going to be reasonable, and I'm going to give them Justin Patton. Now, what Justin Patton brings to the table is a lot. He did fairly good his first year in terms of, only scoring 12.9 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. But his wingspan is fairly good. He's pushing 230, I think they said. He's going to be something great. And if they can mold him well and keep Faried and get him and Faried to play well together, even though Faried's kind of getting up in age, they can do something great if needed. Now, the next pick is Miami. And with Miami, I see them definitely taking a shooting guard. So I'm giving them Donovan Mitchell with this. I have read Frank Nicolina. I don't see it because they already have Goran Dragic, but whatever. I'm giving them Donovan Mitchell, and that's what they need. I'm going need-based here. I'm not going based upon best available, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. If you need something, you take your need. You don't take the best available. We learned that lesson with Philly. Donovan Mitchell fits that system the best. The next, Portland is up next, and with Portland, they're walking in with 3 picks. If they do this right, it's going to be amazing. And as much as I want them to take certain players, certain ones are going to fall, certain ones aren't. Now, with the 15th pick, I'm giving them Justin Jackson. And I feel that they need Justin Jackson the most. If they can get Alan Crabb, Evan Turner, and Mo Harkless off the books, somehow, some way, even if it's in a trade, it works. It's the best opportunity. It's what's best for long term if you're going to take these 3 players. I don't see them taking all 3. I see them taking maybe the 15th pick and trading the other 2. I have said that trading them for Carmelo is an option, and Carmelo fits well into that system. Yes, they play a little bit more fast-paced, but let's be honest, Melo seems like he wants to be playing a fast-paced ball. And if you're Dame and you've got CJ on one side and Melo on the other, you're going to like that. It's going to be amazing to do. Now, if Portland was to make this deal, let's just say in the middle of the draft, and they still keep that 15th pick, then I see them taking a TJ Leaf. But I see them with this 15th pick, they will be taking Justin Jackson. The next pick is the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Chicago Bulls, they're one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of teams where we don't know what we're doing with Butler, but let's figure it out anyway. I want the Bulls to trade Jimmy Butler to Indianapolis. I'm going to be doing a video on that. I will be doing a video on the Carmelo to Portland idea as well. I'm going to break those both down as best as I can. It makes sense that if Paul George says, hey, I need you to build me a team and then I'll stay, why not just get him Jimmy Butler? But if you go based upon current needs and not what are we looking for since Butler's gone, you need a center of the future, but you also need a small forward. So with that, I would say that they take a risk, a little bit of a risk, and they go after OG Anunoby out of Indiana. He makes the most sense, although they need to eventually address the center position, which they could do with that second pick, if they got a second pick from Portland. Now, with Anunoby, they are going to do some great things. Yes, he plays power forward, but he is a bit undersized. But who else? Who isn't undersized in this league? Let's be honest here. I feel that he can do amazing things with them, and it gives Jimmy the chance to go back down to 2 and play the 2 where he should be, even though Dwayne Wade will still be there. The next pick is Milwaukee. As much as I want to see them draft a better point guard, we already know Giannis will be playing point guard. So with that, I'm going to be giving them Justin Allen. It's a debate between Justin Allen and Bam Adebayo, but I feel that Jarrett Allen fits the role best. So, I mean, his points were well. He had 13 points a game, 8.5 rebounds per game, just about 1 assist per game. He's good. He just needs to work on those assists a bit more. What Milwaukee needs is a post-up guy. They need a guy who's going to sit under that rim all night, who's going to sit there and just grab a ball and hand it back. And I think Allen can do that, but he doesn't want to become DeAndre Jordan, and that's what he needs to worry about. He needs to make sure he doesn't end up like DeAndre Jordan. The next pick is Indianapolis. Sorry, not Indianapolis, Indiana. The Indiana Pacers. And as much as I have read that they're taking a center, it makes no damn sense at all of them taking a center. Because when you think about it, you have Miles Turner. Why would you take another center when Turner's your future? Now with that, I do see them going after someone along the lines of a Semi Ojeleye. He's, again, a little undersized, but his points that he's brought to the table is good. He is a small forward, power forward, but with a lot of the Paul George can play power forward talk, it might be good to do that. It might be good to have him play off ball. Maybe have Ojeleye learn to play the shooting guard position. His three-point shot has been fairly well. A lot of forwards can go down in a position and play that extra position because you can consider the 2 guard as an extra wing spot. Even if you just have 2 wings sitting there, it's the same thing. It's just that you have a taller guy standing there in the corner. But can he block it too? Which I feel Ojeleye can. Now we end up with the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are in the biggest dilemma of their lives. Who do they take? Who do they don't? Are they planning on keeping Millsap or not? I'm giving them Bam Adebayo because I feel Dwight is still going to be there, but it's better if you have just him and Dwight sitting in the middle. Although I feel Adebayo can play. I feel that he can play power forward if truly needed. It's just that he's going to have to... They say it's harder to learn to play another position, but it's not that hard at all. It's actually pretty simple. You just have to learn a couple more movements. The next pick is the Portland Trailblazers again. And with this pick, I do see TJ Leaf going there. I think him and Justin Jackson are going to be two amazing guys on that team. It's going to be incredible. Now, this is where things get interesting, because the next pick is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the question is, what does Russell Westbrook want? What is he asking for? Who is he asking for? That is the question. Now, I truly see him taking and asking for Tyler Lydon, because Tyler Lydon is 6'10" and can play the 3 and the 4. And by him doing that, it makes sense to have him play either or. But since you need that starting small forward, he can play that as well as you need him to. The next pick is the first of the Nets picks. And let's be honest here, they also need a miracle and a half. They need everything in terms of they need Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and hopefully Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. But that'll never happen. I'm being reasonable enough to give them... My list is a little messed up. Hold on. I'm giving them Ike Anigbogu. I feel that they're going to get rid of Brook Lopez. I don't see it happening this year. He may just walk as a free agent, which is going to suck for them. But I see them getting another center who they can mold up. Probably drop to the 4 spot. DJ Wilson does fit as well, but I don't see DJ Wilson getting it because of DJ Wilson's abilities. The issue is Anigbogu can do it. It's just that he's more of I'm going to sit under the rim and not score as much. And I feel that that's what Brooklyn needs to start working on as well as there's only certain teams need to do that, and very few that should be doing it aren't. But with that, I am giving the Nets Anigbogu. The next pick is the Toronto Raptors. Now, this was a hard one because I see them taking DJ Wilson, but I'm giving them Harry Giles because I feel Harry Giles can bring something great to the table in Toronto, and he's going to do something great. I also have the Utah Jazz the Utah Jazz is the next pick, and with them, I have them taking DJ Wilson. I feel DJ Wilson is the best possibility. I feel that he's the perfect choice for what they need, and I feel that he can do the right things. He can do everything that's needed. And the next pick is the Magic pick. Now, this Magic pick is kind of up in the air as well. I feel that with this pick, they should try to go after someone along the lines of an Isaiah Hartenstein, but I don't see it happening because I don't see Isaiah Hartenstein going that high. But I'm going to be reasonable enough, and I'm giving them, again, my list is weird. There we go. Okay. I'm giving them Derek White because Derek White fits what I think they should be doing. And I feel that it makes the most sense to be doing that. I feel Derek White is a great point guard to have, and he can do some of the better things, and he can make some of the better choices in what they're looking for. And that's a great thing to have. The next person I've chosen, well, the next team, of course, happens to be Portland yet again. And with this pick, it was kind of weird because I was trying to decide between Isaiah Hartenstein and Tony Bradley, But then Ivan Rabb came up, and I did my research before I did this, and I will say Ivan Rabb is going to be something. He's not going to be the biggest guy, but he's going to be one of those guys you keep hearing about. So I'm going to insert him into Portland's pick for that. And let's be honest here. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Justin Jackson, TJ Leaf, and Ivan Rabb. If anybody gets past that, it'll be the craziest thing. That's a solid team. You have 3 solid rookies that you brought in on reasonable contracts, on solid minimum contracts, not even minimum contracts, they're rookie contracts that you can save so much money on to build your bench off of. They can do what is truly needed, and that is the best part about it. The next pick is the Nets. Bear with me because this is the hardest name to pronounce because I think he's going to fall there. Anzej Pasechnik. He is this big monster of a center, and I feel that he's going to end up with the Nets because even though I already gave them a center, it makes sense to have one that does something as well. Although, as I said before, it does make sense for Anignobu to drop to the 4 spot. He is 6'10". It would be nice to have him in the 4 spot doing what is needed. Now, the next pick is the Lakers. I see them taking Terrence Ferguson. I think Terrence Ferguson may end up going to the Nets as it is. But taking him does fill a need. I just don't think the Lakers are in the right mindset to understand that. But let's be reasonable enough to give them Terrence Ferguson. The next pick happens to be the Spurs. I've decided to give the Spurs Caleb Swanigan. And the reason why is because I feel that LaMarcus Aldridge will either be moved up to center or traded. I feel that moving him up to center is probably the worst decision anybody could ever make. So I feel that he might end up getting traded. And if he is traded, they're most likely going to trade him for a center, whether it be a Brook Lopez, and Andre Drummond. I don't see that happening, but anything is possible in this league now. But that's why I feel Caleb Swanigan is going to end up with the Spurs because it makes the most sense with what their needs are going to basically be in this offseason. The 30th pick is the Utah Jazz, and I see them taking Tony Bradley here. Tony Bradley makes the most sense. Even though I really, truly gave them somebody else already, it's a bigger player. I see them getting that position filled. I see them going after multiple big men because it's needed. They need the extra position just in case Gobert does walk. Even getting somebody and having Gobert already knowing that Gobert is probably going to stay fits as well because you're going to have a nice solid power forward or center coming off the bench to play as well, and having that extra power will be great. That's it for the 30 picks. I'm going to give you a top few players that are going to be in the second round to look for. I feel that they're going to make a solid impact. I also do know of 2 good players to look for to see if they get undrafted, because I have a feeling that these 2 are going to be undrafted and they're going to be something great in the league eventually. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But the players that I want everybody to continue to look at in the second round, first one is Juwan Evans. Juwan Evans is going to be amazing. He's not, like I said, he's not going to be this big, amazing point guard. He's not going to be the Russell Westbrook, most likely, but he's going to be that one point guard that's going to handle everything. He's going to be, I see him more of a Drew Holiday than I see him as anything. I see him as a Drew Holiday who's going to understand his role and know that he's the floor leader and that he's the guy that needs to be there for the team. The next person is Josh Hart, and I'm telling you, Josh Hart is going to be amazing wherever he goes. He's going to do everything he can, and he's going to get a starting role. Dillon Brooks is another one who's going to be amazing. I feel that those three guys will fall in the top 40. The next player on the list is Frank Mason. For those of you, I mean, you all know who Frank Mason is, but for those of you who don't understand how good Frank Mason really is, Frank Mason is on a level that a lot of people wish they could be at his age. Frank Mason could walk into the league tomorrow, learn for a year from a major point guard, and take over within 1 year. That's how good he truly is. He wouldn't even need a break. He wouldn't even need to take long enough, to take too long. He probably would take less than a season, and he'd have a starting role. The other player to look at is Alec Peters, and I'm telling you, Alec Peters is the next Gordon Hayward. He's going to be that good. They're saying that they're projecting him as a top 48. They're projecting him for the 46th, anywhere between the 46th and the 52nd pick. He is going to be something great. And he's not going to be on the level of $30 million a year probably within maybe 7 or 8 years he might, but the first couple of years he's going to be that power forward that everybody looks at, that everybody focuses on. And then there's those two players that are going to be undrafted. The first one is Matt Thomas. Now, I see Matt Thomas as that second point guard on a team who knows what he's looking for, who knows he's not the main guy, but knows that he's that guy that can get the job done. And then there's E.C. Matthews. E.C. Matthews is a shooting guard who, after watching him a couple of times, his three ball is incredible, and he can do some incredible things. The sad part is he's going to be an undrafted player. It would be great to see him get drafted. He's going to end up undrafted though, and he's going to do something that a lot of people don't see very often, and he's going to be that one of those very few undrafted players who makes the league big time. And when he does, it's going to be louder than anybody's ever done it before. I'm telling you. That's my time, guys. Leave a comment if you like this video. Like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.